at these types of stuff and we were like, well, like, there's good cosplay stories as well, or like things that have gone wrong but like have actually ended up going right, or stuff that's just funny. So we're like, well, we'll do a panel which is just sharing like the dumb silly stuff or like the cool stuff, etc., that happens in cosplay.
Things that we got wrong, so you don't have to.
Or things that we got right, or it's just fun stuff that happened to us or to you. Because it's audience participation. You might have noticed that's the kind of thing we do. Means we don't need to come up with as much content, guys. They're secrets.
Don't give away. We can stand here with no microphones and no video and it's fine.
So yeah, that's going to be the format of the panel. Is we're just going to
Edit, it's fine.
Just put like a blank PNG of like people's heads just like low.
It's like Futurama, but we're less famous. The presidential heads and whatnot.
So yeah. Who was it that wanted, because someone had a story.
Me, I have a story.
You wanted to go for it, I couldn't remember if it was your Sarah. It was
talk
like, I have the
forever,
first
it's fine.
question. I have like the first story that you want to
Talk,
share.
it's fine, it's all good. So, cosplay stories. My cosplay story is from, you already know the story, don't giggling over it. I think it was Amichubi, like last year, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The last year or the year
2015.
before?
I don't remember what.
Year before, 2014.
Oh god, okay. It's long.
I don't know.
Who knows?
It was an Amichubi.
It was an Amichubi in the Hotel of Death in Nottingham. Don't go to that hotel. Basically, we ended up doing X-Men Evolution group for the first time. So we had our lovely Kurt, our lovely Rogue, and myself as Mystique. And I basically got a bodysuit, because I was like, I'll get a bodysuit. I got to paint my whole body blue then. Great, this is fabulous. You're like, hi guys, welcome, take a seat.
What did we miss?
Just us
The
going.
set up for a terrible story about...
Yeah.
We only just started, it's fine.
Only started.
Mystique, bodysuit. Those are the things you need to know so far. Continue.
Pretty much, because I don't want to paint my whole body blue.
What will happen next will surprise you all!
Because I thought you were naked.
Because guess what? Bodysuits, when I've got gloves on as well, and I'm thinking, oh, I've got my gloves on and everything, and I'll go to Tesco like you do in cosplay. I have no shame.
Weird out the normies.
Yeah, we're not normally, especially when you go to Starbucks covered in blood. It's great.
That was this morning.
That was this morning. That was fun. But you go to Tesco dressed as Mystique, and you go to the touchscreen and you go to pay, because I don't like interacting with humans unless I have to. And you go, oh, please can somebody help me in the queue?
It's when she went, oh right, I've got my gloves on, and then kept trying with gloves on.
Touchscreen doesn't like gloves.
No.
Doesn't like bodysuits either.
The story of the Mystique trying and failing to use the self-scan in Tesco spread around that con like
I heard about
wildfire.
We got told the story.
When I was not in Mystique.
And because we are awful people, Debbie and I, who were with them, we didn't end up helping out. Just a stranger had to come and be Mel's hands, because Debbie and I are on the floor, laughing our heads off.
We didn't use your face. That would have been my response.
So the moral of the story is...
Cut your hands off.
Your
bodysuit is the end of that sentence.
I was just thinking, take a touchscreen
Yeah,
and stick
I'm
with
gonna
you.
Yeah, we'll get a touchseen pen.
We'll get to put touchscreen things
That
in your,
would
in
be
your
another
gloves.
thing
Yeah.
for us to remember to pack, so we just cut off our hands.
Because I have gloves over the top anyways, it doesn't matter, it's fine. So yeah, that was my story. Yay, because I'm stupid. Fine, I'm
So for the people that arrived like slightly later, we're doing a cosplay story. So it's like sharing either funny stories or like happy stories or like something silly you've done, but like you've found out something from it, which is quite good. Like this is not a convention horror stories panel. It's some like nice, happy, fun, clean stuff to like start the morning off, because it's a Sunday and we're all very tired.
Sponsored by coffee. I got a personalised coffee cup because
as we all
coffee.
know, when Mel does not get her coffee, it's
We
a bad
fail.
time for everyone involved.
We like to be alive.
No, it's rough. So yeah, it's if you guys have any convention stories.
If you have one to
Convention or
share,
cosplay stories
raise
that
your
you'd like
hand.
to
If
share.
not, we'll keep talking.
Oh,
Hey!
oh, we have a volunteer.
Join in.
I've got a friend who is ridiculously hyperactive at cons. Like, we're all hyper, but just she's on another level.
Another plane.
She comes out of the lifts. This was at Kita, I think, a couple of years ago. And she comes out of the lifts, and it's the first night. She's dressed up. She's ready for the party, and she sees someone. She goes, "That person's dressed exactly the same as me." Charges towards them, glomps them, realises it's a mirror.
The thing is, at Kitty, you can do that very easily because those mirrors are everywhere.
They are everywhere.
I was expecting a horrible blob story and then it got better.
Horrible, randomly hug strangers, like, what are you doing?
It got an announcement at the con closing ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Committee members happened to
Oh, that's fantastic.
In a similar vein, we were at a convention, Insomnia in Scotland, which Scotland apparently is so small that we don't get multiple city insomnias like you guys do. We just get one for the country. Because nerds don't go to Scotland. So they're like, oh, we'll give you one. So we'd gone this year? This year. Very early. So we'd gone this year. So Insomnia, big gaming con. There's not a lot of cosplayers there. So we were like doing our thing, bopping around, and we were like, okay, bring like big, impressive looking, I was like Dragon Age cosplay. I'll bring Fenris with like my big dragon head on a stick. That is literally the size of the head on the stick. Like, okay.
Bigger than
So we're doing the thing, and we were like walking around, and we were walking back down the corridor, and maybe like say from like here to the wall was like the end of the corridor that we're walking down. Now, you might notice something that I'm wearing today. They're glasses.
They're not just for decoration.
They're not, because I'm incredibly short-sighted. But I also can't wear contacts. I'm also incredibly vain in cosplay. So if my character doesn't wear glasses, and I'm not very tired, then I just don't wear them and I rock around blind all day. It's really good fun. So we were walking down, and I can't remember who it was walking with. It was the first time it happened because it happened on multiple occasions. The rest of the day, basically. So we were walking down, and I just, whoever it was I was walking with, I wasn't sure if it was you or Tartan, and I just grabbed your arm and was like, oh my god, there's another Fenris cosplayer! Who's wearing the exact same, like, original character design version of the armor as you, really? Which I totally didn't get until we were closer, and I was like, someone, and I was like, oh,
That's my reflection.
that's not once, not twice. In my defense, not that there is much in this, the way that the mirror was is it was like it went down a longer corridor, and then it had the mirror, which was the same depth as
It's
like
similar to the
the
Kissick
space.
setup, to be honest.
So like
yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's 2 corridors of my doppelganger. That was a long weekend.
Yeah, we should tell this one.
Yes.
So, this dude cosplayed
Peter Quill.
Peter Quill, Star-Lord from that film.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I promised ages ago that I'd do a Nebula, because I was like, yeah, you guys need a bad guy for your photo shoot. I'll do it. It's all cool. First of all, I could not be bothered with a wig cap, like, and bald caps.
Despite being the whole point they agreed with when I want to do a ball cap cosplay.
Shh, leave me alone, I'm lazy. So I was like, I ordered 2 and they just didn't show up. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. I will dye my hair. So I did the purple streak in the middle and the blue down the sides, and I was like, I'll just slick it real back. It'll look close enough. And then I was like, and then, I'll build a silver arm. Yeah, I'll do that. Didn't do that. So on the day of the photo shoot, I'm sat there painting my face, going, yeah, this is all cool, this is all cool. And then I'm like, how am I going to do the silver arm? And I'd been making a helmet for Star-Lord with, you know, silver paint and the nice stuff, and I was like,
She's awesome, by the way.
it's like, yeah, I'll try foil. I had this like stick-on foil stuff. I was like, I'll wrap that around my arm. That seems like a really good idea. No, it's not. Because
Do you want to share, while you're doing this, the location that you were doing this in?
the accommodation.
The Alcon kitchen. Anyone here ever been to Alcon? So you'll know that the Alcon kitchen is clearly the best place.
There's our Alcon kitchen mate right at the back.
to be dealing
The
with
best
trying
place to be doing
sort that
this.
out.
So I tried stick-on silver tape foil stuff, which by the way cuts
Come in and sit
because
down,
it's
guys.
really sharp. So that didn't work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Cannot sit. So yeah, I took that off and I was like, right, okay. I'm gonna have to use the acrylic paint that I used for the mask, aren't I?
Onto skin.
There was about 3 of you just painting Ren's
Painting
arms.
you.
We were away getting changed into different cosplays. We come back into the kitchen and it's like
guys
just a
sat there painting my
workshop
arm
just dabbing
whilst I'm
sponges
painting
on
my
Ren's
face.
arm.
Like one sponge here, one sponge
In
here.
fact,
one
I think
sponge
on the vlog from last year, I
Yeah.
think there is footage of this.
It's just 8 people painting this one like.
It was a traumatic experience.
We
Getting
did
it off was not fun. So
Pro tip: don't put acrylic
Do not
paint on
paint
your skin.
your arm, your entire arm, with acrylic paint.
Because if you have arm hair, you won't.
You will not have arm hair once you're done.
And your skin can't breathe, and that's bad.
Oh no,
Right,
I've got a
you
story memes over there.
I forced my boyfriend to cosplay because the way he wooed me was by pretending he was really into cosplay, and then when we started going out, he was like, I actually don't like it, and I was like, well, guess what, buckaroo? Time to stand up now. So I made him cosplay Newt from Pacific Rim, and he's got tattoos up his arms, and I was like, okay, we can do this, I've got a good idea. So I covered it in a pair of tights, and I was like, I'm going to just paint onto the tights. I was like, okay, it's fine. But I pre-planned this. I was like, it's cool, we'll wrap it up in like cellophane so it doesn't touch your skin. This was the night before the con. We did one, and it took so long because the cellophane stuff kept like moving around. I was like, oh, it's so messy. So in the next one, I was like, I'm not going to use the cellophane. We're just gonna go, you know, tights on arm. I'll paint. It'll be fine. He was like, oh, okay. He didn't know that the repercussions of what would happen. I did. And then he literally cried as we peeled this flesh-covered, hairy, mangled mass of like acrylic paint off his arm. And if you turn the sleeve inside out, it's just full of his own arm. And then he ended up wearing it to the con, and at one point we just sat next to each other in just pure silence, and he just turned to me and was like, was it worth it?
And you were like, Charlie, yes.
Whereas you can just buy tattoo sleeves.
But newts are really specific.
Very.
Yeah. Oh, that takes me back to when I tried to build the arm castle.
That count as karma,
See,
Quinn, then.
You
I
did
just thought you would have done it
and
on
you just had
shopping.
us in
I
the
was
hostel
standing.
with a pair of Sharpies, one of us doing each arm.
Standing with my shirt on like this, braced against like the side of the thing with 2 people drawing round my arms to have the things.
See,
'Cause
you
I
were
was
pasty. Max is like,
yeah.
his
My
it's
skin
darker.
is the palest canvas you can get.
I haven't actually done it in cosplay, but I spent a whole day just painting guns and props for a thing, as I have in this one, for an Alcon. And normally when I paint, I've got a pair of jeans that I wear for crafting, because I've got a bad habit of cleaning my brush by waving it on my thumb. So,
Oh my god, my pants are
so I get up for this. I've planned I'm going to spend all day painting these 7 or 8 props, and sort of as one's drying, I'll move to the next, and I'll keep a production line going. And I haven't really been bothered to wake up properly yet. And this is Alcon, so it's about August, so I'm in shorts. It wasn't until I lost my edit and went, ah, cold! I'm now covered in silver paint.
Shiny, shiny Sarah!
It's fine. I'm washable and just kept going. By the end of the day, I am covered in 5 different shades of brown and silver and black paint.
Talking about paint.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
All the stuff all over the suit is also acrylic, like red, brown, and watered down. We put our lovely splatter on in Mill's back garden before a con by filling a water bottle full of this paint concoction. I just put on the cosplay and these two just threw paint at me.
In the dark, in November.
And then we spent like
Somewhere
15
in
minutes
Preston.
army crawling around the garden to get some like grass stains that don't show up.
This hat, I think, got thrown around the garden and stomped on a few times. It's fine.
Scuffed,
Weathering.
Thing is, I then like took all the cosplay off, and to this day my binder is now pink.
I did tell you, I was like, it will go through.
Yeah.
You will need a shower.
It's amazing the stains you can get on binders, isn't it? As mentioned, I cosplay Kurt. Kurt is blue. Now I do the X-Men Evolution version of Kurt because it means I don't have to do a bodysuit because I don't want to. Which means that he's got a pretty low V-neck. I actually have to sort of aim myself for photos so you don't end up with cleavage on view anyway. Which means that I have still got blue staining on this thing. I cosplayed Kurt for the first time 2 years ago. It won't come out. I've tried.
Blue is the hardest to get out of anything. Because I have a blue stain on my binder. I don't wear a binder with any character that I've ever done blue with, and I've no idea how it got there.
One of these two have touched you, and it's like the
Mysterious
day.
Sting by osmosis.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
So the tip. Always double layer when you're painting yourself.
Just don't
Wear a protective layer.
Just don't wear anything else underneath. Just do
Yeah.
Also, do as we say, not as we do.
Actually, no.
That is like the tagline for this panel, by the
Does
way.
anybody else have any stories to share? I feel like we're kind of taking over. Yes.
So on the painting subject, I was spraying this with like silver spray paint. And I was like, I really need chrome, so I went to go get like specialist like chrome spray paint that was nice and shiny. I was like, oh crap, I can't do this in my tiny one-bedroom flat. Like, I need to like get outside and do this so I don't like choke myself to death.
These two know those feels.
So I was like, right, okay, it's cold. I'm in my pajamas, but you know, never mind, no one's going to care, no one's going to see. So I rush outside to my flat. And it's really, really windy as well, so I'm trying to keep my pajamas from like flying off. I've got newspaper all over the grass because I'm like, I can't turn the grass silver because it'll be blindingly obvious who it is. Because I live in a flat full of
In the
old
shape
ladies
of a sword.
as well. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just I wonder who is here.
Doris did that.
Yeah.
Doris.
So I live with all the old ladies and
In our
stuff, but
katana
I
collection.
thought there's no way they'll, like, I'll just go on the corner a bit. So I'm putting all this paper down, like, the wind's blowing the paper away, so I'm trying to stand on it, like, paper flying everywhere, like, trying to spray paint. So I'm, like, getting into it. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome, it looks cool, like, I'm really happy with it. And all of a sudden, the lady on the ground floor, Henrietta, touches her little curtains and then comes out, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh God, she's
Can you not
blind
tell,
to us.
Henrietta?
And I'm sitting here, like, I've got spray paint, and I'm like,
You're masturbating.
and the first thing that came into my head was, I'm making a project for my dad's birthday, and she was like, oh, what is it you're making? I was like, shit, think of something. I was just like, a picture frame thing. She was like, oh, you've only got one side. I was like, who's this going? Go do your shopping, go get your paper, do anything, just
Digging
stop
yourself
talking to me.
slowly deeper.
How do I explain to a 90-year-old, like, I'm doing cosplay, so I do on weekends.
Go watch Bargain Hunt, go damn it! Back in the house!
So she went like off to do the shopping, and I was like, right, okay, it's cool. I'm nearly finished. I'll do all this, and I'll take all the paper inside. No one will ever know I'm here. But because it had all been blowing around, I did get silver like all over. So I was like, oh God, I can't leave it like this. So I literally dump all my stuff like on the side, like ready to dry. And I'm like, crap. So I'm literally on my hands and knees tearing out like strips of grass to hide my tracks. So there's like the other people who live in my flat are like, she did that. So I'm like ripping it all up and like putting it in the bin and stuff. And then one of my other neighbours comes around and is like, why are you throwing grass in the bin? Oh God.
You just rip it out.
You know the best way of explaining to non-cosplayers that have no interest at all about your cosplay is you go, I'm doing theatre, or I'm doing, what else was that I usually explain it as? I'm doing costuming, and then they go, what's that? And I go, it's a really geeky thing.
Like Halloween but earlier.
See, that would have been like logical.
Panic brain. No, with the silver grass, we did actually have that of like, you know, we really need to cut the grass. Why? We've got an inspection tomorrow. I was like, but it's kind of short. Yeah, but it's silver. That's actually a point.
Trying
Yeah.
to get to
The bits by the wall.
Yeah, in the end it was all good. So.
Along the lines of being outside your house, when it's windy in a cosplay, always make sure you've got your keys.
Oh yeah!
I had a new I ordered a pre-made cosplay. It turned up, really excited about putting it on. Put it on, brilliant. Went out to meet my boyfriend outside, forgot my keys, door slammed, locked out of my house wearing nothing but a big ball gown dress.
All dressed up, but
No idea.
Oh
Always
dear.
good fun.
Okay, so a few years ago, I was going to cosplay like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z to an MCM. Very early on in the con, I realised that it was just going to fall apart. Like the night before, thought I need the white boots, so I got an old pair of wellies and spray painted them white really, really quickly. The only trouble is the fumes had not dissipated even, that's the word.
Oh.
So walking around the con, even just trying to get to the con, all the paint was flaking off, so it's not going to work. Take the boots off, put on trainers, put them in my rucksack. The only trouble is I'm walking around the con and the fumes are still coming out of my rucksack, and like, I realise I'm walking around this con, I'm high as a kite. But eventually I just had to say, right, just 20 quid, just get rid of them. I don't care, it's 20 quid, I'm high as a kite, just chuck them in the bin.
This
first
guy,
time I ever went to Alcon.
silver paint absolutely loves him.
Chrome paint despises me, my family, and the ground I walk on, and will never dry.
He had a pair of swords for Philly that he spray painted chrome. 9 months later, they were still tacky.
Wow.
To the point where when I'd taken them to the con for like the reason I was taking them down, not only were they all pockmarked from the bubble wrap, which I'd transported them in, even though they had been finished painting 48 hours before the con, like air drying by themselves outside, but we like left them in my room because where else would you leave your stuff? In your room. My friend walks past my room, she's like, where's your duvet? I'm like, on my bed. She's like, you're sleeping on my floor tonight. Like, we then opened my door the next morning with the window having been open the entire time. You could have stripped paint with, like, I must have been like flying through con. It was. But yeah, a year and a half later, still hadn't dried. But I stored them under my bed. Like
In your tiny student
in my
flat.
tiny student flat, so it was probably slowly killing me.
We threw those away after like the
Yeah,
next time you wore
They
them.
literally ended up in like
a
outside,
skip outside the con.
outside the student union. I was just like, pick on.
Alright. Story that's moving away from paint and moving into different aspects of cosplay. Think through how you're gonna sew things before you end up sewing them. I've got a Jack Frost cosplay. And people who've seen Rise of the Guardians know that he's got strapping around the base of his leg, and I want to make sure I did this. So I picked up some bias bindings. I figured that would probably do quite well. I wouldn't have to worry about edging it. And I did, sort of got my thing. I've got them cut off. I've got them more jagged. I start wrapping them around, and then I realise A, I'm the only person that I had easy access to who lived in Bristol, which meant I couldn't summon anyone to come help me. B, I can't get these things off without either drawing blood from the pins or ruining the binding. And even if I could get them off, they're skinny jeans. They won't fit over the sewing machine. So I spent 2 hours getting a couple of weird looks from my flatmate at the time whenever he deigned to come down from his room to get some food. Because I'm doing yoga positions. Trying to hit the main anchor points of these things enough that I could get them off to sew them properly. It's a plan you're making, guys.
Plan? What's this?
On that note, you were talking about binders earlier. I went to, I can't remember when it was one of the first cons I went to, and It was at, I think it might have been AME when it was at Leicester. So we were all in the uni dorms, and there's a girl on that corridor, and she's forgotten to bring her binder. So what does she think she's going to do? She has a bright idea.
Oh, not so
She's duct tape.
Oh!
No. Screams when she came to take it off.
Oh,
Never through the entire building.
Duct tape will melt together if you don't know that already, and become one big, nasty nipple remover. Like, no.
Don't put it near your skin.
If
If you don't have a binder, like I could not be bothered to put my binder on today because I'm lazy. I just got a sports bra on and oh yeah, the best t-shirt in the world.
Yeah, well, some people can get away with that.
The best t-shirt in the world. These aren't bought me for my birthday. So yeah, that's all I'm doing today. Cause I
A
can't
binder is
I
basically.
think you put on to hold your boobs down.
Chest compressor.
Yeah.
Was it to hide your nipples or something?
No, your
It's
whole boobs to
basically
make it
designed
just
for-
Bearing in mind, while I've got relatively impressive pecs here, I'm mostly flat. I'm a G cup.
Oh.
I am wearing a binder.
Yeah.
that one.
So,
To make you look flat
flat,
and man,
yeah.
as opposed to having a curve. You're just flat, up and down.
They are specifically designed.
Yeah, basically, it's a wee look like a man.
Look, they are specifically designed for binding
This wonderful example
comfortably.
here.
yeah, you need to
And
go
safely.
Yes. Safe
Yeah.
is good.
So yeah.
Because they were originally for like transgender people. So like they're actually being like medically like tested and stuff that it is suitable for you to wear for extended periods of time and stuff.
You can breathe in it. It's not going to break your ribs or remove your skin.
Things which duct tape will do. Also things that ace bandages will do.
Yeah.
Also stuff that
Most other things that aren't binders are
Yeah.
maybe sports tape.
Yeah.
or binders that you get off of eBay
£5
that have the words tomboy in the title.
Yeah, if you go for the really
Chinese
cheap
outfit.
binders.
Yes.
If you have a look on our YouTube channel, we have actually done a tutorial about this.
Because we all feel very passionately about it in case you haven't
So-
seen
We
it.
don't
so
want you
we
to
don't end
make
up switching
ribs and
over the-
puncture lungs.
Yes.
So we don't end up
But for
switching
nice
over the
people.
panel to
Yeah.
binding
Binding
tips.
tips.
Excuse me.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, this isn't like particularly funny, but you might laugh anyway. I don't have one anymore because I've lost it, but I bought one of the really cheap rubbish like binders.
Oh, we all
And I
have.
decided to test it out for one day, like so I wore it to college. And then I got back and I was so tired from college, I fell asleep. Oh. Yeah, I woke up about 10 hours later and took it off, and all here and my back were bright red, and I woke up, grabbed my inhaler, took a puff and threw it off, and I was like, okay, this is going to be red for a very long time. I was red
So,
for about a week
question.
and a half.
Did you fall asleep or did you pass out?
I wasn't struggling
What's
to
the
breathe because I
difference?
fell asleep.
Alright,
So,
I've had a similar situation with that as well. I brought my first ever binder, realised because it's a Chinese size that it can't properly fit over me, so I've hooked it properly tight around my chest. I'm sitting there for an hour doing this going, because my chest is literally compressed so much. I feared that when I went to sleep that night that I was actually going to die because
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the lighter
Never
side
sleep
of
in a
it,
binder.
the
I
first
never
time I
slept in
ever
it.
wore a binder. So, you know, like I said, it's a pretty big change on me. First time I ever wore a binder, I went downstairs, chuffed as hell to go and show it off to my flatmates at the time. And I swear to God, one of the guys, who also happens to have been briefly my ex, so he's very intimate with how I look normally, right? His reaction is purely, oh, nice shirt, is it new?
Never mind that, you know, it's
Well, it closes now, James.
See, I'm the lucky one that can kind of go. Just
Don't even talk to me.
just gonna hide it with my no binder.
I know what we could talk about. We could talk about sorting out your wigs before the con, Debbie.
Yeah, you've been really quiet.
Yeah. Quiet one down the end. Go on, Debbie.
Not much to say really, to be honest.
Heat-proof wig.
Oh yeah! That's a better one.
So, If you ask your friend who styles wigs to last minute style a wig for you the morning of the con that you're going to wear it, and they explain to you that okay, you're going to like use the hair dryer and they'll sort the hairline for you and your parting and things that you tell them that it's like a £3 eBay wig which is not heat resistant to like 30 degrees Celsius. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, get the hair dryer on, low, and you know that's just like someone breathing lightly. I was like that, and the thing shrivels, and I'm like, Debbie! Debbie's like, what? Hacking it out. It's still good. It's still good. It's all okay.
It's not heat resistant, Debbie.
It's not heat resistant.
It's not. You're actually pretty bad at that. You're like, you literally sit there every bloody con and go, oh yeah, I haven't started this wig yet. That wig you're wearing right now is all con. Run!
No, the only reason, Debbie, Ren got a Facebook message about 4 days before the con saying, would you mind bringing your gear so that you can help style a wig at the con? Because I was looking over Debbie's shoulder and said, maybe you should ask Ren before we turn up so that they can have their gear to style the wig at the con.
No, I'm just going to surprise them. Tell them, go, Ren, can you style this?
I have no scissors, I have no paint.
No. It's a good job someone thinks ahead.
I was too busy stressing over this.
There's also the delightfulness of losing parts of your cosplay in your house before the con. The night before.
Always
Yeah.
cosplay sick.
Glasgow MCM, not this year, but last year, we, for the Sunday, we're doing Miguel and Tulio, which is two costumes that we'd done before once, but hadn't had a chance to wear again, and we're like, okay, let's like get those out and wear them one more time.
We're like, it's in our house. Like,
It's in the cupboard, like
it's
where all the
sorted.
rest of the cosplay stuff
For a
is.
bit of context, we live in the smallest flat in Glasgow.
It's
you could
the
fit our
tiniest-
flat 3 times into this room.
Yeah.
And in that flat, there is a built-in cupboard called the Abyss.
And that is where all the cosplay stuff is supposed to go. It's kind of leaked out into the rest of the flat by this point, and we've given up all pretense that we're keeping all of our cosplay stuff in that cupboard, but...
That cupboard was where the shirts, a waistcoat, and did we find your trousers?
We found my trousers. We found like both pairs of trousers.
But I'm just sat
And
there.
my shirt.
I'm just sat there going, I'm going to try and style Bellatrix wig while these two are like looking for all their things. And I'm just like,
And that's
we
how
ended up pulling out some fabric and making them again.
Just sitting there like, just...
Isn't it like 10 o'clock at night at this point?
Yeah, I'm sitting there ruffling sleeves I'm just like, everything's okay, guys. Everything's fine. I love cosplay. It's my favourite hobby. Relaxes me.
Have you guys ever found that explaining cosplay to someone who doesn't know about it, they end up looking at you going, because you go, oh yeah, it takes all my money, all my time. I normally end up throwing things at the wall, but it's great fun.
I love it.
So now they're looking at you going, you wrong in the head.
So yeah,
This is
even if
explaining the
you're...
frustration, because I was trying to sew a piece for a costume and it broke. And the problem is, this was my first time using a sewing machine. I broke the needle, and literally, there are no kids in here, right?
Yes, there are.
Keep your language
Yes,
clean anyway,
yeah.
but...
Keep it.
Okay, the
PG
PG version of me, I just shouted, "Sonnets!" And then my mum comes up and is like, what are you doing? I was like, may or may not have broken your sewing machine.
Oh.
Oh.
The time that I broke 5 needles.
5?
In one day.
Ow.
I've not done that.
Well, when you tried to sew
last
concrete.
year. The thing is,
At college, I got kicked out the sewing room.
yeah, but it's my machine and stuff. Also, I didn't think I did that the first time I ever used a sewing machine. Why am I doing this? But yeah, bearing in mind that my sewing machine has managed to sort out my Zoe vest from Firefly. That thing has got 8 layers of upholstery fake leather in places that it has gone through. It complained, but it did it. 1 layer of faux leather to make my shin guards for Quill. I broke 5 needles.
I broke 3 making Captain Jack's belt.
let leather needles go. So, leather
It
touch
was
wood.
fine with Zoe! Who thinks ahead like that? Knows, yeah, I'll buy stuff. Shut, you're an adult.
Our adultiest adult.
Apparently.
When I'm on coffee, it's fine.
No, I broke 5 needles and then was digging through the sewing box, throwing things behind, like, there's got to be another needle.
To be
there's
fair,
gotta
the
be
sewing
another
machine
needle.
that you use is not the best.
It's IKEA's cheapest.
I was like, I will bring my sewing machine with me to your house.
I found one final needle and I managed to sew 3 belts with that one needle and it didn't break. I was going
It was
so
chosen
slow.
one.
What-
Like,
Weren't you banned from the sewing machine for a while? as
yeah,
well,
my
until I
mum
had to
didn't
come
let
around
me
and help
use
her?
it anymore. She was like,
I would
you
still-
did what? I'm sorry.
Oh, again.
I would still rather that than having to hand sew everything because then it keeps poking my fingers, and most of my fingers were actually bleeding by the end of
Who
it.
needs fingertips?
Again, on terms of breaking the machine, I actually broke my machine.
Hold on.
That's smoke and tears.
There's a spring in the cycling mechanism, and because I was trying to put something, I can't remember what I was trying to sew. I don't think it was particularly thick. It was something supposed to be relatively easily, and it locked. So I went, oh, okay, I'll pull it a bit, and all of a sudden it's free cycling. Oh, and nothing's happening. Oh crap. Oh. So take it a bit, take it out, and this spring has near enough sheared.
Did you mess up that bad?
I don't know. But the main reason that this is funny, because I managed to fix it, just. And the reason it's funny is right at the time, when I was going, oh baby, you're such a good girl, is when Debbie came home from work. So Debbie comes in the door and there's me next to her on the desk, hugging my machine going, you're such a good girl, I love you. And she doesn't even blink, she just looks at me and goes, I'll start making food then? Okay.
I'll leave you to whatever that is.
Plus my house.
The relationship you will have with your sewing machine is the most bizarre that you will ever have with anything in your entire life.
It's
I
at the
just
same
whisper
time,
to mine. Like,
it's my most
when I'm
treasured
sewing.
possession and my most hated enemy. It's my sewing machine.
I love mine, it's a beast. It's great.
Yours is great.
Great.
Mine's not so great.
Mine's just a cheapie from Hobbycraft.
Oh,
It's just like,
actually, no, continuing on the sewing machine vein, these are all me. Why are these all me? How to break your sewing machine without breaking your sewing machine just because you're not paying attention. I have taken apart my sewing machine twice now. One time when I was at home with my parents, so with my dad, and we're taking it to absolute pieces to try and figure out why it's not cycling and why it's stuck. And it wasn't until my little brother, who knows nothing about sewing machines or any sort of mechanical gear, comes down and goes, shouldn't that be a bit over there? That bit is the bobbin cycler. Literally, it's because I
On
haven't
top
gone.
of most sewing machines, you'll
tick.
have a bit to load up your bottom spoon, and when you hit the pedal for that, the top part spins
you, like, have to
rather
put
than
the
the
thing
actual
over.
needle.
You have to like put
And when you
one
put it
thing over
back,
usually.
the needle goes instead.
Yeah. Funny that.
Twice. I have now done that.
Does anybody
I
else
shouldn't be
have
allowed
any
their sewing
stories?
machine, guys.
Shush. Does anybody else have any stories? Because before Sarah takes over the whole panel.
Not very funny, it's not even related to sewing or anything, but
What's the story?
I cosplayed Sebastian McKennish from Black Butler a couple of cons ago, and I wore this horrendous wig cap. It was like really, really tight, and I wore this thing all day, and I thought, my head is really, really hurting. I took the thing off, just this huge red line across my forehead, and I had that for the best part of a week, just this red scar, and working in customer service, that's not what you want.
It looked like you had head surgery or something.
It just didn't look good. I'm trying to sew fish and chips, and people are just going, I'll go, salt and vinegar.
Just the mild lobotomy, don't worry, I'll rest.
I can beat that. I can beat that. I also had the line thing going on, but I actually had half my hair ripped out. I basically, I'll take this off because I can.
This is not the half the hair
This is
ripped
not
out,
half
this
the
is
hair,
like
no, this is
an
this.
undercut.
When I had all my hair really long, and basically just kind of swept back half of it, and was like, I was doing half Mystique, half kind of Raven, so she's got like half long blonde hair and half like red hair. My hair was red at the time, so I kind of swept it all back, tied it up or whatever, hid it away. So I had like half of the Raven hair. Then I was like, how can I do the blonde bit? And I was like, oh, I can get like literally an extension or whatever and clip it in. So I clipped it in, and it was really secure and everything. Came to take it out at the end of the day and realised I'd like pulled my hair out of the front, like right there. And yeah, it took a while to grow back.
The cosplay looked great.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. I was
What
half
did you
blue.
do for cosplay?
It was
Losing
fine.
hair.
So the moral of the
breaking
story
toes.
The moral of the story is don't do that.
Hair out. Take it slow when sewing. Slow and
Always
steady wins the
double
race.
sew your crop. At least double
At
sew.
least.
There's
Because-
nothing quite like having a raccoon sewing his crotch in the middle of your kitchen, is there?
No, not at
My
all.
Rocket Raccoon cosplay's crotch has fallen out multiple times. Double sew your crotch and don't use cheap fake leather when you're sewing a crotch. I have learned.
Like French seam, roll seam, just keep sewing it. Just keep sewing. Wear another pair of trousers underneath those trousers.
Don't most cosplayers learn things the hard way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not met one
Because-
cosplayer who's like, yeah, I'm a natural at this. I can just do that and
Deep
do this.
learning curve.
Even people that like have learned how to do dressmaking properly and all that kind of thing still have the
Yeah.
the stories of the silly things that have gone wrong. And the good things that have happened.
Most of the time, I've been really lucky.
Our sewing machine tends to behave, but I think that's because it's scared. We were like two separate cosplayers living in like bigger flats, so we had like a sewing machine each of the same sewing machine. We then moved into one tiny flat where there's only really room to have one up at a time.
There's only really room for one person at a time.
Yeah. So we've got like the sewing machine that sits out, and then we've got its brother like
Hovering under the table at the other
being
side.
like, if you give up the ghost, we're bringing out the spare.
We have a replacement.
So it's like, okay, I'll do it.
We just kind of hiss at it. Do my bidding.
Now, so I got one.
Yeah.
I was making a cosplay. Well, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, be fine, it's a normal sort of person outfit. Yeah, okay, so I got the trousers. Okay, these trousers need to be dyed a different colour, but sort of the same colour as these gloves. So I'll lop the gloves in as well. Trousers come out, they're fine. Gloves come out, they're still white. It's like, okay, fine. Well, I'm only wearing them for a couple of hours. Mother says, here, we just put them in some food dye. I would just turn them wonderfully green, which was the colour. Wonderfully green. It's like, stick them in. It's like, okay, fine. Take them out. It's like, okay, they'll be a bit wet, so we'll left them on the counter. We dry bit. It's like, fine. Put them on. Go to the thing. It's like, yeah, it was wonderful. Once we flick through this book, take one off. Green all over. It's like, okay, put the glove back on. No one noticed. Okay, next thing, get home, wash. It's like, it's not coming off. It's like, okay, next couple of days, it's like, sitting out, with the family. It's like, oh, yeah, it's not that cold here. Take your gloves off. Then just wear normal ones. It's like, I can't. My hands are green.
You are doing Mystique.
I painted a prop for Debbie for Alcom, and one I didn't think was through before I started, because it is a foam pie. I figured, well, I'm going to want to put some primer on this anyway, so I've got a smoother base to put the actual colour onto. I didn't think about the fact that this is a very porous foam you can get.
Oh god.
Which meant that, I'm doing that, I'm painting a couple of other things, I'm going back. And about 6 hours later, this thing is still wet. Still. So at this point I've gone, Debbie, fetch my hair dryer. So this thing has got 3 layers of primer on, and then it's got the colour on. At which point I've still got to finish my mask, and I think at this point it's 2 in the morning. But the thing was, this meant that for my next 3 days at work, for my next day at work, no, it was after, because we went straight to Alcon. After I'd gone to Alcon and come back to work, this is after showering every day at a 4-day con. In a lab, I have still got primer here, under my nails. I was white in patches for a week with showering every day. It did not want to leave.
Which primer did you use? Gesso?
No, it's just Dulux.
It'll be some oil-based primer, I'm guessing.
White Spirit.
White Spirit.
Fun fact,
No polish
Bandursnatch
on me
is
back.
really, really good for getting off just about everything. Everyone loves Lush. Because Lush
Yes.
is the best. They do a soap called the Mechanic, which
And it's
is...
got like an exfoliant in it, and it smells of blackcurrant, and it's amazing.
It'll take off just about everything. Like, I've had stuff stuck on that I couldn't get off with acetone, and Alison's like, try my soap from Lush. darling.
And then you do, and did it work?
And it did every single time. So I'm just like, let's not take off a layer of skin. Let's just use the nice, pretty stuff.
It's a similar thing as well. I had acrylic paint stuck on my hands, and I even was using my dad's like soap that he uses when he puts oils his bike.
That's good
And
stuff.
it didn't come off though. But then I was like, I went up to grab my Lush stuff, and I thought, I've got my salted coconut hand scrub. It smells amazing, by the way. I thought, okay, I've tried industry strength soap for getting oil off your hands, and yet the Lush stuff worked better to get acrylic paint off my hands.
Heard it here first. Looking Lush now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sponsored by Lush.
If you plug them hard enough, maybe they'll send us things.
If only. That's how it works.
Alright, last question, I think.
Oh, yeah. If stuff's wet, be careful how you dry it, because you might set it on fire.
What did you do? Oh, you
Set my
haven't
tyre on
heard
fire.
Oh.
Because this is insulation foam covered in warbler. And I had a heat gun and I was like, oh, I need to put the warbler on. Forgetting the inside is full of insulation foam. It's set on fire inside the tyre. Half of the inside of this is a bludgeoned, like, melted mess. The only reason me and my whole family aren't dead is because luckily it happened when my dad came into the garage, bought me a cup of tea and was like, oh yeah, what you doing? I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to...
Made a great cosplay picture though. Tyre on fire.
Accurate, but scary. Also, wear a respirator because I had to cut my nose hair out because I got plastic dip inside my nostrils, so I'm breathing it in.
Oh, yeah. Wear protection.
Painting!
When you are painting, a face mask and goggles and gloves.
Serious approach. Very in character though.
Yeah, burnt out tyre.
I've never used plastic dip. Is it good?
It's the best primer you can have ever.
Because
Please sponsor me, plastic dip.
they said it's awful and stuff.
I would say that, but remember those swords that we talked about earlier that ended up in the skip?
Plastic dip.
That's what happens when you then coat them in oil, which never dries.
We probably have time for one more question.
One more story.
Probably more of a sewing question though. Is it worth investing in a serger or an overlocker?
I've never used
Never
one.
used either.
I have heard all of the stories of, oh
Let's
my god,
talk
it's
to our resident
amazing.
sewer over there.
I
You've sewn probably more than anybody else. Look at the outfit
If
right
you're
now.
intending on doing a lot of like stretchy bodysuits, yes.
Okay.
That is the end of that. It's good for stopping stuff from fraying.
Well, to be honest, I've
Right.
done stretchy stuff like
I
the
just
bodysuit.
roll seams if
I
it's
just-
stuff that I'm worried about fraying. Like I'll just like look it under itself and then like
And
it's
zigzag.
holding itself.
The worst thing I've ever had to fray. I had... No, fray was what I meant with it.
Okay.
I was working with Silver Lame for a futuristic sci-fi jacket for a LARP. I left these things 2 inches worth of seams because if I tried to do any less, it pulled straight apart. That's how badly it frayed. Stress test your materials, kids. Also, cos test beforehand, especially your face paint.
Cos test.
Right, Mel?
Cos test.
Especially your face paint.
First time doing the Mystique and Kurt.
First time we did Mystique and Kurt, we
3
used
hours
Snaz,
later.
not knowing any better. Took us 3 hours in the morning and we were reapplying pretty much
5
every hour.
layers.
Because it's fine on your face, but any sort of stress points, it cracks.
At least for us anyway. Like it works for
Works
you.
on you.
It
Works
works
for
for
me.
you. It works for you.
So,
For us, it didn't.
we like Mayron.
Yeah.
Mayron Paradise Paint.
But yeah,
we
that
call
has
it that?
been our cosplay stories. Bandursnatch sharing over. So thank you all for coming along and having a nice little chill morning start with us to ease us all into the Sunday of convention. And now you can all get excited and like, I was going to say drink pocky and eat a ramune, but that's the wrong way around. But do that.
Yes.
We hope you all enjoyed and had some fun. We had a good chuckle as well, hearing all your stories, so hopefully you enjoyed yourselves as well. If by any chance, we didn't really do our usual style of content today, but if you want to find out more about us and the kind of stuff we do, we have little snazzy business cards that have little cute Bandursnatches on them. So you can see those, they're really sweet, and we do YouTube stuff and all that kind of exciting thing.
Voice.
What was that? By the beautiful
It
designer.
was gay.
It's gay. So you can check that out, because that's our stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's us kind of done. So I'm going to actually finish getting into my cosplay. Because I really think the Hollister Henley makes Desert Free Nagisa work. But yeah, we hope you enjoy the rest of the con.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we haven't vlogged very much today because we've been very busy. You, Sarah and Luke did the VIP gala this morning.
Yes.
And then we had our Marauders panel, which was really good.
I can be your house elf. I'll do whatever you want, and I don't need any clothes. Wait, serious?